Hello and welcome to the Peak Endurance Podcast. I am your host, Isabel Tate, and with me is my co-host.
Ron Tate.
Aha, I nailed
Oh
it.
my God, the excitement on your face.
I'm like a 3-year-old.
Uh,
Yes,
you'll get a star later on.
I will. Woo. Exciting. Yes, it wasn't that hard actually.
No, it never seems that hard until you actually start
I
speaking.
know, and I had to pause for a second and go, what am I saying? So there was a bit of a blank there, but
Uh,
anyway, we're here.
we are
We are here with our colds and everything. So if there's
middle of the summer colds.
so if Ron's signing with his deep, sexy voice, actually it's gotten a bit better. It's
It
been
does.
rather deep. I'm like,
Yeah.
I said to Ron yesterday, I don't like it. You sound like someone different.
I've had my radio announcer's voice going.
You have, and I didn't like it. I have to admit, I had a bit of a I got the husky voice too, but it only lasted for like a day, whereas you've had it for like a whole
Yeah,
bloody
it's been
week.
pretty much all week.
Whereas I've had the absolutely disgusting snotty nose,
Yeah.
just gross, just oh my God.
Yeah, we've both
So bad.
had a cold. Isabel's has kind of come out through her nose
Yes.
and ears, whereas mine has mostly settled in my throat.
Yes. I mean, I did get the sore throat, but
Yeah,
it only lasted a day. And I spoke about that on the last
yeah,
pod. That's why I was like, oh, well, I'm okay now.
yeah.
But yeah.
But now it's just leaking out of you.
Oh my God, the nose. Oh, it's just as well Ron can't run with me at the moment because
Because
you don't want to run with
I'd
me.
have very snotty shoes.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, but that's all right. It's your snot. I
And
don't
not
mind
just
your
my
snot.
shoes. Oh my God, it is. Oh, anyway, I'm getting a lot better.
Yeah,
And in actual fact, I felt like I went for an easy run the other day, which was Tuesday, which was my
yeah,
first sort of run back, and I actually felt that that helped to clean the system out. It made me
yeah,
feel better, and that's what you've got to watch. Like when you've got a cold, be careful. Like don't you've got to know exactly when the right point is because there is a point that if you go out with the cold, you'll get sicker, which we'll get into because it did happen to me.
hmm
But if you go out at the point where you're nearly like you're pretty much over it, it actually makes you get better quicker.
And the fact that on Tuesday it was a really clunky, you
Oh, I
didn't
felt
enjoy the run.
the run was
Uh,
horrible. I felt clunky as
yeah,
all get out because I hadn't been well.
that's right. But on Wednesday,
On
you looked
Wednesday, I felt
good.
awesome
Yeah,
because I blasted it all out of
yeah.
my system. And like I said, thank God nobody was running with me because it was so, so gross. Oh my God. Lucky we don't live in Singapore because I
Yeah,
tell you,
yeah, you'd have been
I'd have been arrested, thrown in jail. Although I could have said, I'm not spitting.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You know, I wasn't spitting.
No, no.
Didn't. Anyway, so 24 park runs in
Oh,
24 hours. Woo! That was so much fun. Especially as it was only 8.
I, it,
So, I was listening to the podcast from last week. The whole time through the podcast, I'm like, like this. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, Isabel, you're a moron.
yeah,
And then I went to bed that night and I woke up about 3 or 4 times choking on all the snot running from the back of my nose into my throat. And yet, but the thing is, I want people to understand I'm not normally this stupid when I have a cold, but the problem was Nikki was depending on us.
yeah, yeah,
Right? She was so excited, and I'm not blaming Nikki, maybe a little bit, but no, I'm not blaming Nikki. She was so excited about us doing it. Ron, she was relying on Ron driving her, like she
yeah,
had nobody else. And of course, then for me to run with her, and it was like I felt kind of obligated. So under normal circumstances, no, I would not have planned to run 120 Ks. And you could
yeah,
hear it in my voice. I really didn't want to do it. Like
yeah.
I really, really, I think I knew.
Mm.
Anyway, the first few were fine, because it wasn't too hot yet. But then,
It was pretty warm. Like
yeah,
it warmed up pretty
yeah.
quickly.
And I mean, I was pretty early on wearing an ice
Yeah,
bandana, like by the third
yeah,
one.
that's right.
And which goes to show that my body just wasn't coping, and
Mm.
probably because I was sick.
Yeah,
I mean, not desperately sick. A cold isn't terrible, but anyway, by I don't know, it just kept getting worse and worse, and I was having to walk more. And by the last one, it was like 1 or 2 o'clock, wasn't it?
yeah. It was just
And,
after 2, I think. But
yeah,
yeah,
and it was so hot. It was 37 degrees at that stage, and most of the park runs are actually in full sun, the
yeah,
courses.
yes, that's right.
And the
That's
course before we'd done, where I hadn't felt too bad, was in full sun for the whole 5K. And then we went to this other one, and I just fell apart. I
Yeah.
tried to run and I felt like my body was being crushed by this overwhelming, I don't know, feeling. I
Mm.
don't even know how to explain it. And I had to walk. I couldn't even walk with purpose. We walked that at 9:45 pace. Like that's like
Yeah.
walking in the hills kind of
Yeah.
pace,
Yeah.
you know? So, and I just, and Ron was like, I'll run it with you, help you feel better. It didn't help.
I just ended up
It just gave me someone to
walking
walk with.
it.
Because
Yeah.
Nikki, by that stage, Nicole Q had turned up and she was doing a couple. And I think I'd also realized by then I had an eight
Yeah.
because Nicole came with her husband who was doing the driving for them. And I'm like, and Nicole was like, if you're not up to it, we can take her.
Mm.
And so, anyway, so I just ended up saying after that one, look, I'm done. And
Yeah.
honestly, I could not. And I thought, what's the point in walking all of them? Like
Yeah.
literally no point.
That's right. It was only going to get worse,
It's only going to get worse and slower. And we watched Jonathan keep doing them. Like we have a group and
Mm.
a group chat and was getting updated. And like in the middle of the night, it was at Coburg, it was 33 degrees.
Yeah.
That was the middle of the night. And anyway, even Nikki ended up pulling out at 12. She was like, no, she just had enough.
Yeah.
So, because Nikki did Bogong to Hotham too. She swept it. But as we spoke about the other week, sweeping is hard work. Even though you're going slower, it's almost harder because you're going slower because it's kind of, you're not in your own natural rhythm, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
that was
yeah,
a long day in the
turned.
trails for her.
Yeah.
And then, yeah,
Yeah. So it turned, what would have been a tough day into a,
the heat.
yeah,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
into a
But I
unbearable day.
still think with my cold, I wouldn't have been able to do them all. I
Yeah.
think, I just think I wouldn't. So thank God Nicole and Greg turned up and they were able to take over. And they did. Nicole and Greg ended up doing 10 altogether, and Nikki did 12. And, we both
Mm.
agreed that was plenty because she's got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah.
She's got a big race coming up in April. She doesn't need to do this. This was meant to be for fun.
Yeah.
So,
And it stopped being fun when it got over 30 degrees, I
yeah,
think,
yeah.
which was, like you say, the second or third one.
Yeah, and so, but Nikki copes well with heat. She's done
Yeah.
bad
Yeah.
water.
Yeah.
She, where it's like 50 odd degrees, and
Yeah.
she's like, oh, it doesn't bother me. I'm like, oh, fuck. If it gets over 25, I'm dying of heat exhaustion. But
Yeah.
yeah, it just, and I didn't quit because it wasn't fun. I decided that wasn't going to be the reason. It was because the heat, and I know my own body. I just felt shit.
Yeah.
Just like at Bogong to Hotham, I felt shit. And it was the same cold. And, it just, and then I was quite sick the next day. We said,
Yeah.
oh, we'll go for a 10K easy run. I didn't
Oh,
realize I
that's
was
right. Yes.
sick.
Yeah.
And we got up and we went to Fernie because I said, just 10K is easy on the trail. It'd be nice. It'd be cool up there.
Yeah.
And we got there and I was like, I'm dead. I'm not right.
Yeah, that's right. We
Yeah.
got to about 3Ks in.
3K and I was falling behind and I was like, fucked. And I just felt so bad. And I said, look, Ron, you're fine. You keep going. Because you were like, no, I'll keep waiting for you. And I was like, that's putting pressure on me, actually. So I said, you go ahead and,
Yeah.
I'll just plod along. I recorded a few videos, which is the only reason I knew I had a husky voice. Because when I listened to them later, I'm like, Jesus, I sound like a man. Anyway, so watch out for them. They
Yeah.
can laugh at me. Me pretending to run because then I'd have to stop because I couldn't breathe talking and running. And I only ended up doing about 6K
Yeah.
to get back to the car. And then there was some friends having their morning tea there. So I went and chatted with them for a little while. Then they packed up because they'd been there for a while. And
Yeah.
and then I just went and sat in the car for like 15 minutes and then you were back.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
did 10K.
So yeah, I continued on and did 10K
Yeah.
just around. It's really enjoy running on at Fernie on like a Sunday because it's nice soft trails, but it's a bit of undulation.
Yeah.
Not super
And it's
hilly.
beautiful trails. Like
Yeah.
they're different to the other parts of the Dandenongs.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they're lovely. And so, that was the weekend. Last night I hosted a free webinar, the Breakthrough Year Blueprint,
Yep.
and we just talked about the structure that people need to have a great year of training. I host these free webinars regularly. My next one is Thursday, the 19th of March, and it will be on moving up from the 100K to the 100 miles, what that means for, training, mindset, those sorts of things. Completely free. And or if you want to if you want to know when it's coming up, go to my website, peakendurancecoaching.com.au, and sign up for the email newsletter. You'll also get really great emails with lots of training tips and that sort of stuff. Like I try to give really good value. But I'll also let you know about the free webinars to register for that. And I'll be posting on social media about it coming up to it. But you know what it's like on social media. You don't always see people's posts. I follow people and I never see their posts. I see some random that I don't even know, but I don't see the people I follow. So if you really want to be sure that you get booked in for that, then sign up for my email newsletter. And that way you will hear about all of them, because I've got more planned. I can't remember offhand. What were they? So moving up from the 100K to the 100 mile and training the gut. Yes. So that's going to be a good one too. Very important. And all free. Yeah. Free for you. Yeah.
Great value for money.
Yes. So, So
what have we got coming up this weekend? We're just back to regular.
Well, you're bloody hell. We were talking today. The last time Ron ran properly, like a proper week, it was before Christmas. Yeah. Yeah. Holy moly, cacacoly.
It's been one thing after another at the moment. It's kind of
been one step backwards, 2 steps backwards, 1 step backwards.
Yeah. Every time I think I'm on top of something else pops up.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it was your mindset first, then it was your hip flexor.
Well, no, it was my knee before my hip flexor. Yeah.
Then your mindset, you know, the Christmas mindset. Yeah. Then your hip flexor. Then
now it's my cold.
Because the hip flexors lasted a while.
Yeah, the hip flexor's been hanging around. I was starting to get back into it though before the cold.
Yeah, but only just. You're only running every second day.
Yeah.
And you went to do a 15K run, and you said, "Oh my God, that was so hard," because you feel like you've lost so much fitness.
Yeah, 15K, and it wasn't particularly hilly. I mean, there was a few hills. It was at our local park at Lesterfield.
Yeah, it wasn't hilly.
No, not a heap of hills, but by the end, I felt like I was dragging my butt up the last hill.
Yeah, and it wasn't a super hot day either.
No.
Not comparatively.
No.
So Ron's fitness has taken a massive hit.
Yeah.
Whereas mine's just, still on the upward trajectory. Although I've had a dip last week, I didn't do much because.
Yeah, but it's just been 1 week, and you could almost treat that as your,
recovery week. Yeah. Well, not really, because I was also been battling, and this week hasn't been as much because I'm just coming back. Like I did one quality session, that's it. And that was Wednesday, and I felt so good on it. It was so nice to feel good. And then yesterday I ran out on the trails, and that was nice. But then I also did yoga and strength. So today's run was a bit ploddylicious because my legs were so heavy. But that's okay. I'll spruce them up with a 35K hill run tomorrow.
That's right. So roughly 35Ks with 2,000 meters.
Yeah.
Climbing,
and what we did on Sunday just gone was, it was a hot day. No, was it Sunday? It was Monday.
Monday,
because it was a holy day.
Yeah.
I don't know why that came out like that. Yeah, it was Australia Day, and we're like, what do we do? And I was working, of course. And Ron's like, and I had all these calls booked in. So I did some in the morning, and then I had some again later at about 4:30. And it's like, what do we do for a couple of hours?
Yeah.
And Ron's like, oh, could we go to a winery? And I thought, the last thing I need to do is get on my calls pissed. I mean, it might make it entertaining for the athletes, but, or not, if I'm telling you.
Not full of wonderful
insights.
Yeah. And what you do here, you probably couldn't understand anyway.
No, that's right. And probably far too much swearing. So, so I said, maybe not. How about we go to the pools, the Alinda pools? And Ron's like, what? And I said, they're these old school pools. They're like, when I was a kid, I lived in Baldwin. We used to go to the Baldwin baths. Like I used to walk 5K at least to get there through the snow. Yeah. In my bare feet. I mean, I probably was in bare feet because I used to go everywhere in bare feet in summer. Yeah. Like when I was a kid, we lived in bare feet. We did not, I was like far out. I was like a Kenyan, except for the running fast bit. So, it just reminds me, the Alinda pools reminds me like a small version of the Baldwin baths. I mean, the Baldwin baths are way bigger, but just a small version. And I just love those old school outdoor pools. And Ron went, all right, I'll be up for that. So we drove up. It was only half an hour drive, and you got up to the hills. It's a little bit cooler. And how nice were the pools?
It was. And we took some lunch up. So we got up there. We had a bit of a swim to cool off, and then jumped out and
And honestly, there's all
had
these
some
big,
lunch.
beautiful trees, and everyone's under the trees. But even though you were really close to people, it didn't feel crowded and
Yeah,
horrible, did it?
yeah,
Like everyone was very respectful of your own space. And like our picnic blanket was practically touching other
yeah.
people's, but it it
It
it,
didn't feel like we
it
were
didn't
sitting.
feel like it,
Yeah,
and nobody was talking out, really loud. Everyone was quietly amongst themselves. So it was really nice, really a real family pool. So
yeah,
lots of
absolutely.
kids
Yeah,
and lots of pregnant women toddling around. And I love all that though. I
yeah.
love to see families. I love to see young kids. Like when we hopped in the pool, I said to Ron, I love that sign of children splashing and having fun. Like I love it. Um, and so to me, that was awesome. Ron was a little less awesomeified by it because he hates getting splashed in the face. And, I'm like, just come on, grumpy old man. Jesus Christ.
Someone has to be the grumpy old man.
Yeah, I know. Bloody hell. So yeah, we had a bit of a splash around, because I'm no swimmer. We went in the deep end at first, and
Yeah.
I had to hold on to Ron because I got so tired dog paddling, staying above water. Then I'm like, Ron, hold me.
So I had to do the rescue
Yeah, not
stroke,
quite.
dragging you down to the shallow.
It was getting very exhausting. It really
It's
was.
very like it was an exceptionally deep pool,
Yeah.
like for the size of it, because it's not a big pool,
No, no.
but it gets really deep
Yeah.
really quickly. So the deep end
It's huge. There's not
is
much of the
like
shallow.
three meters deep or
Yeah,
something.
so we had to get onto the end with all the kiddies,
Yeah,
which
that's
Ron loved.
right.
I mean, at one point there was two guys playing volleyball, and the ball
The
just
ball
kept
kept
hitting
hitting
you.
us in the head. No matter where we went, the ball just kept on
Well, because we were right next to
being
them.
magnetized to our
Yeah,
heads.
yeah. I think it was mainly your head, to be
Yeah,
fair.
probably.
Anyway, so
And then
the
and
reason we're telling
we
you,
had lunch, and then we waited the obligatory
2 minutes.
half an hour before we went back in the pool.
And I was
You have
discussing
to.
that with Ron because I said my parents never taught me that. We would just eat and go in the water. Like we never followed that bullshit rule. I never even knew about that bullshit rule until once in primary school I went swimming with some Australian friends, and they're like, "You can't go in the water." I'm like, "What? Says who?" So, but Ron used to
Oh
have to
yeah,
follow that
yep,
rule.
yep, that was a biggie.
Yes, I think being my parents not being Australian didn't know that rule.
Yeah.
So we just went in the water, and guess what? We were fine.
So you didn't get any cramps and
No, or drain or
sink to the bottom
anything.
of the pool.
No, didn't happen.
Oh,
So there you
yeah,
go.
who knew?
Yeah, who knew?
I thought it was a guarantee.
Yeah, you'd think the way people used to carry on about it. I think it's not really such a rule anymore. Anyway, if you're old like us, you'll remember that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the reason I brought up the pools was because tomorrow I said, and I said to Ron, we should do that more often. So what we're going to do is because Ron can't do the 35 Ks with me, he's going to drive up to Alinda, park at the pools. I'm going to run, although I should say Reich, because it'll be 23 Ks for me to get there with, at least 1,500
Yeah,
meters climbing.
yeah,
And so I'll run to meet him, and then he'll do 12K with me after that.
yep.
Um, and then we'll finish off at the pools. He'll have brought my breakfast with me. I'll just wash myself in the pool. No, I won't.
Have a shower
I'll
before you get
have
out
a
the pool.
shower, wash the sweat off me, get into my togs, and yeah, and then we'll just have a relax by the pool,
Yep.
and
Chill out for a bit.
yeah. So we thought that would be a nice thing to do.
Yeah.
Take advantage of the summer instead of just sweltering it out at home with the
Yeah.
aircon on. And I hate air conditioning.
Yeah.
With a passion. So yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to do that. Make a bit of a day of it, or at least when you're going to be
That's the
there.
thing, running takes up a lot of our time, and when I say our time, I'm including you, the listener. So we've got to find ways of making it a little bit more enjoyable, and not such a slog all the time. And all I do is run and then come home. Run somewhere. Get your partner, even if they're not a runner or if they don't run as much as you, like we're doing with Ron. He's going to meet and just do a little bit of the run with me.
Yeah.
You could even meet, and if you've got kids, then you and your partner and your kids could do that last little bit with you. Or something. And then, be at the pools and have fun family time there. And so, yeah, you can always try to find a way. I'm sorry, I've got to blow my nose again. It just gets so bad. It feels like my sinuses are going to explode. So pardon moi. I know it's not very professional, and I probably should edit out the noise of me blowing my nose, but we all know.
It's edit free.
It ain't gonna happen.
It's not an all.
It's
You get everything.
it's not gonna happen. God, I'm funny, aren't I?
Yeah.
Yes. So anyway, um, so what we are going to talk about today is sleep deprivation
Hmm.
training. The reason I thought of this one was I actually listened to a podcast about it, and and I, I was like, I didn't love the podcast. And I don't recommend sleep deprivation training. In fact, I'm completely against it. So that's why I thought, well, I need to get my viewpoint out there because clearly I'm right.
You are. Yeah. There's
No, but
your viewpoint and then all the wrong ones.
no, but once you listen, listeners, you'll see.
Yeah,
You'll see. You'll see I'm right.
that's right.
Okay, so sleep deprivation training, people think it must be necessary because obviously if you do an ultra, you're going to have sleep deprivation. Now, to be fair, if you're going to do 100K, it's not really that much.
No.
Surely anyone can go 24 hours without sleep.
Yeah,
Like,
that's right.
honestly, really. I remember when I did my first track ultra, it was a 24-hour, or not my first 24-hour track ultra. I'd done a 12-hour one. People had tents pitched and they slept and they had naps for 24-hour races. And I'm like, why would you do that? Like, I don't understand it because I'd done 100 milers and, in over 30 hours. I hadn't done GSEO
Yeah.
yet then.
Yeah.
So, to me, there is no way I was going to sleep for 24 hours. 24 hours is like awesome.
Yeah.
That's nothing,
Yeah.
you know. But people were sleeping, but because they couldn't handle being awake for that long. Did they not party in their youth?
I know, that's
Like,
right.
what the
Jeez.
hell? Like, seriously.
Have they never wandered out of a nightclub at 7 o'clock in the morning?
And then gone to work,
Yeah.
reeking of alcohol and cigarettes back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, was that just me? Because yeah, my hair, God, my hair,
Yeah.
when it got cigarette smoking, it stunk.
Mm.
Um, so and many athletes feel that they need to do sleep deprivation training to feel properly prepared. And so I wanted to go into why the benefits of sleep deprivation training don't outweigh the negatives.
Yeah.
Okay, they do not at all. Um, yeah, okay.
I mean, potentially you could argue that there might be benefits to sleep deprivation training. But
What would be the benefits, do
well,
you reckon?
knowing what it's like to be tired.
Okay, I know what that's like. I don't
Yeah.
need to do sleep
But
deprivation training.
but technically that is
The reasoning.
a benefit of it.
Mm.
But as you're about to say,
But people want to do sleep deprivation training because they think it'll make it them they'll experience less of that horrible feeling,
yeah,
right? But to do that, you have to train that for weeks and months
yeah,
on end.
yeah,
Like any training adaptation, if you want to do proper sleep deprivation training, and this is what I was talking about, the research that they did, I don't know if I'm getting into this too early. I can't remember my notes. I didn't read them
yeah,
just
they're
before the poll.
probably a bit further down.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I think there is. Yes, in the notes there are.
About the research?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll wait.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to
Hold
that.
on to your hats, kiddies.
Yeah.
We're getting to the exciting bit soon.
Yeah, so training sleep deprivation doesn't actually make it any easier when you come to sleep deprivation. All it probably does is help you to recognize, oh, I'm sleep deprived.
Yeah.
Which you can probably already figure out anyway.
Yeah. All right. So what runners do think sleep deprivation training is, yeah, okay, so this is we're getting to it. It's one all-nighter.
Yeah.
Or one long overnight run. They think that just doing that once is enough, and that's sleep deprivation training. And they also think that, suffering through sleep loss builds resilience. And then what they also do, they do this sleep deprivation training, but then they go home and sleep. So that's actually not really sleep deprivation training. To make it real sleep deprivation training, you need to not sleep until the next night.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not sleep deprivation training. It's just sleep delay training.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one night of no sleep is not going to make any difference whatsoever to your ability to handle sleep deprivation.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Oh God, now I feel like I need to sneeze. It's really not good doing a podcast when you've got the sneezy, snotty cold. We'll get into what it takes to recover.
The idea that suffering through sleep loss builds resilience is actually the opposite.
No.
It's just
Anyone who's had a
absolutely
baby and had to stay up for a crying baby knows that you don't suddenly get better at it. It just gets more and more freaking miserable and
the more
horrible.
you do it. Yeah.
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 You know, it doesn't suddenly magically, oh, actually, I'm all right with this.
Yeah. After a week, oh no, no,
Yeah.
this is great. I'm enjoying it.
I'm happy to get up for you, little Johnny.
Yeah.
Said no one ever.
Yeah. And that, I mean, that's, some people, and some people do thrive on sleep deprivation, or not thrive, but can be
Right, okay with it.
okay with it.
I'm
You know,
not one of them.
a
I
lot of
hate it.
night shift workers, but when you're a night shift worker, you're doing it regularly.
And that's the thing. They do
And
it regularly,
but
time
you're
and time
sleeping
again.
during the day.
Yes, that's
Which,
right. True,
when you're
true, true.
doing a race, you're not running through the
Yeah,
night just so you can sleep during the day.
that's right.
You know,
Yeah, yeah,
so it's
yeah.
actually, it's not, you're not training, I guess, sleep deprivation. You're training, changing your circadian rhythm.
Yes, that's exactly right. All righty.
So
So, yes, sleep deprivation training is the research is that they did it for weeks and weeks. One night they would deprive them of sleep, and you didn't get to catch it up. And they had to do it every week, one night for months.
yeah,
And I think they noticed as a small increase in their ability to handle it, like
yeah,
teeny tiny percentage. I can't remember the exact percentage because I
yeah,
can't. So you don't get to catch up the sleep. That's what sleep deprivation training is completely missing the sleep. So if you think, oh, I'll go for an all-nighter and but you and even if you don't catch up the sleep the next day, one night is not going to make you any better at
mhm,
handling it. In
yeah,
fact, months of doing it only made minuscule amount of difference. Minuscule.
yeah,
The body doesn't adapt to sleep loss the way it adapts to training stress. It just doesn't. And in fact, your body becomes unable to adapt to training stress,
yeah,
essentially. Your ability, because sleep is recovery. And yeah.
yeah. And if anyone's tried to do anything mentally taxing when you're sleep deprived, becomes impossible.
No. Can you imagine trying to go to work when you've done sleep deprivation training every
Yeah.
Saturday night for 3 months and going to work? And imagine what a bloody champion you'd be there.
The work is
Imagine how
fun,
much the kids will love you by
yeah.
the end of that three. I mean, as it was, I remember when I used to do caffeine depletion before races, ending up the kids begged me to go back on caffeine. Please, mum, don't do that anymore. I'm like,
Uh,
all right. So
yeah,
seriously, you can't train sleep deprivation, I don't believe.
yeah,
You tolerate it temporarily at a cost.
yeah. That's right.
And I think what you just do is you just go to a race and you just suck it up, essentially,
Yeah,
because that's what you do.
yep, that's right. So, um, the more of the downsides to trying to train sleep deprivation.
Yeah, the
Um,
physiological, the body costs, because we'll
yeah,
talk about the psychological as well, but
yeah.
the physiological costs. Yep.
So impaired recovery and muscle repair, because
Yep.
we all know that sleep is
That's when
when
it all happens.
yeah,
The
is when
magic
your
happens.
muscles are repairing. Hormonal disruption, including cortisol and appetite hormones.
Yeah, because a lot of the hormones for hunger and that's why people who don't sleep enough get very hungry because it's ghrelin or something. I can't remember the exact way it all works, but I've read the research on that too. It affects your appetite and you get more of an appetite if you don't
Yeah,
sleep properly.
right. Reduced immune function.
Yeah,
You end up getting
absolutely.
sick.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Increased injury risk.
Yep.
Not only is your body not repairing properly, so that opens up injury, but also when you're trying to run along and you're tired and exhausted, well, then you probably miss seeing that hole that you're about to
Yeah.
step in, or that rock you're about to trip over.
Yeah, that ankle bender.
Yeah. Um, slower, and once again, lending into that, slower reaction time and coordination.
I mean, and I'm uncoordinated enough. I don't
Yeah, I
need any
know. You
help.
don't know.
What do you mean? Yeah, I know.
Yeah, well, because you
What?
constantly display
I
them.
know. Seriously. It's because I take my Unco pills. That's all. It's not my fault.
I'm sure well, I can't remember what it was where I gave you Isabel, after you've
Yeah,
done something that
I know.
I can't remember what it was now, but
Okay.
that is a favorite saying of mine.
Oh, is it?
Oh, Isabel.
Every time I do something stupid, which is like pretty much all the
Like
time, isn't it?
like as I'm washing the dishes, you tip the
Oh, yeah.
coffee water, the water from the coffee machine into the sink, and it hits the pot that I'm washing at the time, and
It's in the face.
sprays all over down my front.
Like, what?
Oh, and that's when I give you a wizard though.
It's just, I'm not really thinking.
No. So ultimately, you're deliberately sabotaging the systems
Yeah.
that you rely on to adapt.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, and you just chronic sleep restriction actually leads to cumulative performance decline, not adaptation.
Mm.
And even small nightly deficits compound over time. Like I remember when COVID bullshit rules came in, and you weren't allowed to go out and do anything, and you had to fucking sit at home.
Be in your home by 9 o'clock.
Yeah, and but what I do, and of course there was no traffic on the road, so because we were living near a busy road, I slept like a baby.
Yeah.
And and suddenly I was getting so much more sleep, and suddenly I was springing along on my runs. I was like, whoa, I never knew sleep could be so good, because I'd endured years and years of sleep deprivation, essentially. And it's been ever since COVID that I sleep so much more now,
Yeah.
because I have seen the difference. It was like, oh my God, I don't feel like death warmed up all the time.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah.
Who knew all I had to do was sleep an extra hour a night? So, yeah.
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 So there's been there was a 2003 study that showed progressive cognitive and performance decline with chronic partial sleep deprivation, even when people felt they were coping. That's what they find. So there was cognitive and performance decline.
Yeah, but ultimately,
this is an actual
again,
study.
You get, the more tired you get, the less cognitive you don't appreciate actually how bad your
Yes, because your decision making
Yes,
declines, you don't realize that you are cognitively
Yeah.
declining,
Yes.
because you can't see it because your cognitive functions have declined.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. So
It's a self-perpetuating. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Now, the psychological and mental health impact, to me, that's even more important.
Yeah.
Like mood instability and irritability, you turn into Miss or Mr. Cranky Pants,
Yeah.
essentially. You're
Yeah,
snapping at
absolutely.
people, you're cracking the shits, everything annoys you, you're yelling at traffic. Well, that's just Ron on a good day.
Yeah. I don't
know.
have to be sleep deprived for that.
That's only because everyone else is shit on
Yeah,
the roads,
that's right.
including you when I'm driving. Um, increased anxiety and negative self-talk. Because you're tired, you're tripping over shit more, and you're like, God, I'm a shit runner, and and if everything feels harder, and I'm not getting fitter, and that's hard.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Increased increased anxiety and negative
That's what I
self-talk.
just said, you numpty.
Oh, anxiety.
Are you
Well,
listening to me?
no. Why would I listen to you?
I know.
Reduced pain
See,
tolerance.
mood instability and irritability. I think
Yeah.
Ron's not getting enough sleep.
Well, you're the one cracking it with me.
And
So
cognitive decline. He didn't
yeah,
even know I'd read it.
cognitive decline. I don't need that lack of sleep for that, unfortunately. That's just happening naturally.
I literally just said that, and you said it after me.
Reduced pain tolerance.
Yes, I know. Well, I must be sleep deprived, because I can't put up with the pain of being listening to you say what I just said. Yes, but essentially, which is what I was saying at Bogong to Hotham, because I think I was coming down with something, and I was probably sleep impaired because I think I hadn't been sleeping or just feeling blur, also from my anxiety and that. And that's what I said. Everything felt more painful. Things that didn't normally hurt more, and it just became miserable. And that's also what slowed me down.
Yeah.
So if you want to run really slow, do sleep deprivation training.
Yeah. Yeah. Impaired emotional regulation, which kind of is the same thing that I kept saying before. Increased anxiety and negative self-talk.
Oh, okay.
Kind of,
That's what it
that's
was.
it.
That's what it was.
Yes. And higher risk of burnout.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you know what? Real athletes in the real world have work, family, perhaps aging parents. You've got shit going on.
Yeah.
Add sleep deprivation training to the mix, that just amplifies it
all.
Yeah. So, and also in ultra running, we talk about ultra running being and exercise and problem solving.
Mm.
How good do you think you're going to be at that if you've just endured weeks of sleep deprivation
Yeah,
training?
yeah, that's
Not
right.
very
Not
good.
very good at all.
No.
Mm.
All righty. So, yeah, and there's been a lot of studies
Research.
on that,
Yeah.
in 2010 and 2015. So,
Hmm.
brain research and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So the thing is,
And this comes back to a lot of, you see the Goggins and
yeah,
You-
pumping it on.
YouTube toughing it out and going hard or going home. You know, perceived toughness masks real performance loss.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh no, that was a tough. Oh, you really toughed that one out.
Mm,
Actually, I had a shit race,
yeah,
is what I did.
yeah, yeah. Uh, yeah, and so subjective performance, subjective perception, what you feel and think doesn't actually match the decline that you're seeing in your performance.
Mm.
Once again, because your cognitive functions are declining.
Yeah,
So, just everywhere I see it, it's not a good idea. And you also become emotionally less resilient. Like after a bad night's sleep, I'm more inclined to get emotionally upset about shit, you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
So a lot of this stuff, it's showing. I did a bit of research and I put in all the research notes, but
Yeah,
then it's kind of repeating itself as well.
it is. Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, ultimately,
I
the arg
really wanted to make the
yeah,
point.
the arguments we make for sleep deprivation are pretty straightforward.
I mean, there is a lot of research about it,
There is. Yeah,
but as you can see, because I've put it up there, but
yeah,
it doesn't negate the fact that you don't even need to do the research just to know it. And I've always said there's no point in doing sleep deprivation training because it takes so much out of you that you can't do the good
yeah.
quality training that you want to do. So therefore, your training, it's not just that your performance declines because of the sleep deprivation, you don't get to do the good quality work. So your performance declines because you're unable to do the quality
Yeah.
work.
Yep.
So what's the point?
So you're either taking days off because you're too damn tired,
Yeah.
or if you sleep, you do a sleep deprivation training one night, you don't run the next day,
No, you can't. Yeah.
and more than likely the day after because you're
Yeah.
still too damn tired.
Yeah, that's right.
You can be missing intense like your intensity drops
Yeah.
when you do train.
Because everything feels harder.
Yeah,
So you think you're going at the same intensity. It feels the same intensity, but it's not.
yeah, and you're also missing, or sorry, you're adding to your training because it's one thing to do a long run, but then it's double hard to do a
Oh,
long run at night.
yeah, yeah,
So,
that's right. It takes longer because you're quite right.
yeah, so you're
Um,
actually adding to your workload than what you
yes,
normally would do.
you everyone runs slower at night. You
Yeah,
just do because as much as the new head torches are brilliant, you still don't get the same depth perception
yeah,
and that sort of stuff. And you don't have that peripheral vision going on to really help you out.
that's right. And the cost is generally bigger than you would expect. Like studies show that the residual I guess, cost of doing one of those sessions isn't just the next day or the day
No.
after.
Yeah.
It continues on. It can ruin your training for a week.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
So once again, we go back to the pros and cons. The cons far outweigh
Yeah.
like any kind of benefit, which we've already discussed is quite low anyway.
Yeah.
Of doing it is far outweighed by what you're missing out on
Yeah.
by doing it.
What you're better off doing is doing one of your long runs and going out like at 3 o'clock in the afternoon
Hmm.
and running till say 11 o'clock at that night.
Yeah. So you still
Maybe
get
not
home.
quite that long. That's very long.
Yeah.
Maybe 4 o'clock and getting home, finishing at 11, having a good protein shake and hopping into bed.
Yeah.
And by midnight, and then you sleep till 8 or 9 o'clock.
That's right, because
Right.
you're getting that darkness training, which a lot of people do feel
And
the
also,
need to.
yeah, and that change from that dusk when it changes from daylight to night,
Mm,
that's really important to train because that really changes the way you see the trail and you want to get used to that because it is hard to run in that. But that's more for technical skills. But yeah, that gets you some nighttime training without having to stay up all night. I mean, you could even do till 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock's plenty late enough.
particularly in winter, yeah.
Yeah,
And the other thing to do, you don't even have to be doing it on your long run. It can still be a short run, but
mm,
going out and running at a time when you're normally ready
doing,
for going to
yeah,
bed,
yeah.
That can be hard. That can be really hard.
The
Knowing it,
last thing I'd want to do at 8:30 is go
yeah,
for a run.
yeah. So you can do that for an hour or so.
Yeah, that's
You're not
right.
missing out on as much sleep, but you're still getting that same impact of training tired.
Yeah. And another one is then the following weekend, you could get up at, 3 a.m.,
Mm,
start running by 4 and run through the dawn because that's also different.
yeah,
And, so you can break it up like that, still get the nighttime training without doing the sleep deprivation and ruining yourself
yeah,
because that's what ends up happening. And,
yeah.
and it's not just ruining yourself, but you are potentially going to be ruining
Hmm.
relationships.
Yes, yes.
And I mean, we all love ultra running, but it's not worth the relationships.
No, and as you've put in the notes here, training should fit life,
Yeah.
not wreck it.
Yes. Yeah.
Because you're not doing your family any favors when you're you know screeching and being short with the kids when they just want attention from mum
Yeah.
or dad.
Which is obviously what they want.
Yeah,
And a plan that only works if you ignore your life, that ain't a good plan.
no, and not a sustainable plan.
No, no.
No.
And we're all adults. We have responsibilities.
Hmm.
As much as I would like to say all we have to focus on is running, really, there are other things, believe it or not.
Yeah, that's right.
Believe it or
Or not.
not.
Do, 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 do.
What was
Yeah.
that show? Ripley's Believe
Yes.
It or Not. I used to love that show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm,
So
mm.
unless you're a professional athlete who can sit around all day, after doing their
Yeah, and just relax and
yeah,
not have
just
to worry
relax
about anyone else and
and not go to a job and
yeah, not have kids,
yeah,
I was
yeah.
going to say annoying you, being kids. Bless their cotton sock.
Showering love on you.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, most of us don't get to live that life, so we
No.
actually have to fit our running in with our life.
Yeah, and it's just not worth it. And just doing one night of it, it literally makes no difference. It only ruins your training.
Yeah.
So don't even bother for one night. Do like what I said, and
Mm.
train at night or train early morning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So and other things you can do is when you're doing those night runs is practice fueling. Now, I wouldn't suggest taking caffeine when you're going out for those night runs, but maybe when you're getting up at like 2 or 3 and doing an early morning run, take some caffeine gels or caffeine drink and practice using that then, what that feels like.
Hmm.
The
The
reason,
boost that it gives you.
yeah, the boost that it gives you when you're feeling tired. Like
Yeah.
maybe don't have a coffee before you head out for your run. I know that's sacrosanct, but and just rely on delicious caffeinated drinks and gels.
Yeah, yeah.
But just see what it's like when you're absolutely rooted, what it's like to have that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and the reason obviously I say not to do it at night is because you've got to come home and go to bed.
Yeah.
And practice fueling at those times, because it is different at night. I agree, but
Yeah.
you can do it with those kind of runs. Like maybe like if that early morning run, just basically get up, roll out of bed, go run. Don't even eat or drink anything, any coffee, and eat as soon as you start running. So you know what that feels like.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying do it fasted. I'm saying eat as soon as you start running and have the caffeine as you're running, the caffeine gels or whatever it is, your preferred caffeine source. So you can feel what that's like when you're really sleepy and tired.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is harder.
Yeah.
And that's a way of training it without having to stay up all flipping night.
Yeah, that's right. So you need to learn to manage fatigue,
Yeah.
not by inducing it and then dealing with it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
because unfortunately, if you induce it, it sticks around. It's not
Yeah.
like
You could
once
just
you
magically go like
once you
that.
finished your run, you can
Yeah.
then get back to normal life.
No.
Doesn't work that way.
Yeah. So, and you can train your mental resilience for nighttime running without destroying recovery by
Yeah.
doing what we've said.
Yeah.
Now, another thing that I really advocate for is sleep banking. And so that's actually the opposite of sleep deprivation. In the 2 weeks before your big ultra, you start increasing your sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you sleep more. Oh, that sounds like heaven. So you go to bed,
We haven't signed up.
Yeah, I know, right? 15 minutes earlier every night until you're like going to bed at midday. No. But, just add a little bit extra every night. And during that period, if you have got young kids, maybe your partner takes over a little bit of the, wrangling the kids to bed.
Yeah.
Because you'll probably be going to bed at the same time as the kids.
Yeah, that's right.
And that actually has been shown to have way better positive impacts on your performance, way better.
It makes sense, really, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. And better cognitive resilience, improved alertness and performance during sleep loss, increased coming from increased total sleep time before competition. And that was a 2011 study where they found that. And there's also been a 2015 study where they've also found that. So, in your taper, you're not training as much, sleep more.
Yeah,
Use that extra time to
yep.
sleep.
Not just resting, but actually sleeping.
Yeah, actual sleeping. Don't because you've got extra hours, go bloody, building a new fence and, signing up for big projects at work. Actually prepare for sleep deprivation by actually sleeping more.
That's right.
And that works an absolute treat.
Yeah.
And I used to, like I say, caffeine deplete, so that then when I got to the race, when I did have caffeine, I was like, woo, buzzing,
Buzzing. Yeah.
absolutely buzzing. But I just was
But
useless.
really, that was
Wasn't worth it.
had the same impact as sleep deprivation in the
Oh,
lead up
having
in
the
the
caff,
yeah, in the
like,
lead up to
yeah,
your race. It
yeah, yeah.
didn't make for a great family life
No, and
and
I
work life.
I kept crashing cars.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was a lot of cognitive
Yeah.
decline going
Yeah.
on, and that was from lack of caffeine. So yes. Now obviously multi-day races, it's a little bit different. The sleep deprivation is different because it's not that you're running through the night, is that you're not going to sleep as well. Like
Yeah.
always after a big race, I don't sleep as well because I'm twitching and I'm whatever, and I'm jacked up on caffeine and sugar and excited from the race. So it is a lot harder and my body just hurts. So that's a little bit different. So, but that's just one of those things, once again,
Yeah.
that sleep banking will help with. You can't prepare for that. You
Yeah.
just have to suck it up and suffer through it. It's part of the challenge.
Yeah, that's right.
It's part of the challenge of the race.
Yeah. And
That's why multi-days are so hard. You'd think, oh, but I'm not doing it in one hit. It's going to be easier. I find actually it easier to do it in one hit, personally,
yeah.
than breaking it up, because you've got time to get sore and stiff and
Yeah,
uncomfortable.
and then you got to start again.
And then you got to start
Yeah,
again.
it's
And
the
it's like,
starting
oh.
again, and the dread of starting again that
Yeah, because you can't
yeah,
just go, I'm done. Yay. It's like,
yeah,
oh, I'm done, but for today.
yeah,
So
mhm,
yes,
yeah.
yeah.
Which is why what makes the backyard ultras so
Well, that's not
terrible is the
even
stopping and
like,
the starting
yeah,
one.
that's why it puts me off with them, because I'm not good at stopping and starting,
Yeah.
which is why I signed up obviously for the Buffalo Long Slam.
Yeah.
But to be fair, there's not going to be much stopping and starting between the 100K and the
No,
42K, is
you
there?
might get a good 3 hour sleep.
Well, I've got to get back and have a shower first and do all that,
Yeah.
because yeah, we've got to catch the 5:30 bus.
Mm,
Anywho, whatever. All right. Also, probably before a race, good time to try to reduce stress in your life.
yeah.
Okay. And the goal of ultra running and the goal of training is not to suffer more than everyone else. You don't get the brownie points and the gold star for being experiencing the most suffering in your training.
Yeah. You might get a few likes on Facebook about it, but
Yeah, if
you
you
don't actually
talk
get
about how hardcore you are, but
you
no,
don't actually get an extra medal.
no,
You don't get another. You don't regard. Sorry.
irregardless.
Irregardless of what people say,
Sorry, we know that's not a word.
you
It's
don't
a
actually
joke.
get an extra medal for not training either.
Yeah.
So
That's a real bugbear for you, isn't it?
cut that shit out.
We're not
No,
even talking about, he's got
no,
to bring that up every
no
podcast.
one's interested in listening to how little you trained for the race that everyone is about to do.
Yeah.
No one
Stop
wants
sandbagging, Ron.
no one wants to hear how little regard you've had for the race that
Mm.
everyone else has trained as hard as they can for.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, just stop
All
it.
right, settle petal.
Oh,
Every
oh
podcast.
God, I hate it. I hate it.
Why do you hate that one so much?
I don't I I don't know. It just gets under my skin. It gets under my skin when people turn up to a race that you've been looking forward to
And
and you've
training hard for,
trained hard for, and they get there and go, "Oh, I haven't trained for this." Well, why the fuck not?
and then they beat you.
Oh, that's even worse. But show it the respect. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't get me started.
I know.
Don't
Okay.
get me
You're like
started.
me with taxes. Or the government.
Yeah.
The government caring for me. Oh. All right. So basically, we want runners who finish strong and still love the sport for many, many
Yeah.
years. And doing sleep deprivation training ain't gonna
No.
get that.
No.
So, training should make you feel stronger, empowered, capable, not stuffed,
Tired. Yeah.
hating life, hating sport, hating everything.
Yeah. Yep.
So, yeah, get off the sleep deprivation bandwagon and get on the sleep banking one.
Yeah, that's right. And
More sleep, the better.
yeah, yep. And
Yep.
bravado is a very short-term admiration.
Mm.
You might come across it and go, "Oh yeah, that wow, he is tough," and then find out,
Nobody cares.
they actually came second last. Oh, okay, maybe it's not a good idea. Oh, but they were tough though.
Oh, ooh, yeah, they were really tough in their training. Yes. So,
So,
oh, you're funny. So, yes. Anyway, so that's that. All right. So that's sleep deprivation
yeah,
training in a nutshell. Don't
don't
do.
do it.
Yes.
Don't do it.
All righty. So, Ultra Mindset Lab starts next week, next Thursday night. If you have not signed up, you need to sign up. Go to my website. I've got a whole page on it. Read all about it. Read all about it. And if you comment Edge on any of my social media posts, it actually will send you the link to that page on my website, I believe. I'm
You
sure.
hope.
Yeah, it does. I set it up a while ago because these things just take me a while. I'll do a lot of work on that sort of stuff, and
Yeah.
I just like to make sure it's right. So anyway, do that. Join me in the lab. Work on your mindset. And in actual fact, instead of sleep deprivation training, you'd be far better doing mental resilience training
Mhm.
where it's fun. You're learning stuff that will help you not just with running, but actually with your life as well. This is stuff
Yeah.
that will help you with your life as well. So, yeah, come and join us in the lab. I want to make this, my mission is to make this huge and for this to go huge and have heaps of people in it because I want to help so many people.
Yep.
And that's why I'm making it so bloody cheap. Um,
Yep.
I want to help as many people as humanly possible. And by making it cheap, $38 a month, which is what? How much is that a week, Ron?
Oh God, $8,
8,
$9,
16, 24. Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
$9. Yeah,
like that's
$9.
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nothing.
Jesus, I didn't realize this was a math test.
Like honestly, like I just don't understand. Like it's so cheap. So join us.
And it's so important.
It's so important to work on your mindset. Like honestly, the difference between finishing and not finishing in many races is purely down to mindset. And I'm not just talking ultras, I'm talking all races. And honestly, if you're not an ultra and you're listening to this will still help you with your marathon or your 10K. It's all stuff you can use across all distances.
Because if you're running properly, everything's going to get hard at some point.
Yeah.
And you need to be able to deal with that hardness.
Yeah, exactly. Need to have strategies and tools in your tool belt to help with that. So come and join us in the lab. I look forward to seeing you there. Like I said, join my email newsletter so that you can find out when my next free webinars are. Like I'm providing these for free. So honestly, take advantage of it. And then the things I am charging are quite cheap.
Yep.
So yeah, get on it.
And if you're thinking that you might possibly perhaps maybe need coaching, run coaching, what's the best way to find out, in fact, if you do need coaching?
Well, they just book a call with me. It's easy peasy. I've got 3 people booked in for calls on Monday who want to chat about coaching.
And what's the cost and obligation of those calls?
Absolutely nothing.
What?
I know.
That's madness.
I know. And I see people taking notes while I'm on these calls. No, seriously, they do because I'm trying to be helpful. Yes, obviously I want them to come join us with coaching, but I also want to give them helpful advice that will actually help them. So,
and you're completely honest about what people can expect.
Yes, I will always be honest. If you want to know bullshit coach, and Daniel is the same, he's my assistant coach. He's not going to tell you, like me, we're not going to tell you what you want to hear. We're going to tell you what you need to hear to help you improve, because what we want is for you to improve. And sometimes they're both the same things, to be honest. But sometimes you need to hear things like, this is what needs to be done. We will be honest with you with the amount of training that is required for something. So maybe that goal isn't for you. We don't want to see you wasting your time on a goal, right? That isn't for you. So we will always be 100% realistic. But other times I'll tell people, I think you could do way more than that. So it just depends. So if you want honest advice from coaches who actually give a shit, not just want to get more athletes on board, then reach out to Peak Endurance Coaching, and I promise you, you will get the best coaching. And that's why we get so many referrals from
Yeah.
athletes that we already have.
Yeah.
Is they refer their friends because they say we are the best,
Yeah.
and
You happen to agree.
I happen to. Yes,
And who wouldn't?
who wouldn't?
Yeah.
Not biased at all.
No, no bias here.
No, completely objective.
All
All right,
right.
thanks for joining us. We're going to go have some lunch at 3
Yes.
o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, I'm getting hungry.
Me too.
Hmm.
All right, thanks for joining us, and have a great weekend, great day, great evening, great whatever you're doing.
Whatever you're doing, I hope it's great.
And we don't know what next week's podcast is because I haven't had a bolt from the blue yet. I'm sure one will come tomorrow on my
That's
long run by
tomorrow's next
myself.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All righty. Thanks a lot, everyone. Bye.
Bye.